Hello and welcome back to another episode of That Gym Girl. Hi, I'm Angel, your hostess with the mostess. All right, what is doing? Oh my goodness. What a week. Also, can we just make a note of like all the fucking amazing guests I've been having on? Like, this has just been so much fun. And I'm gonna tell you guys like such a weird story. So, I am a university student. I'm studying pharmacy, in case y'all don't know, and I'm sorry if this is the 100th time that you've heard me say this. But I was literally driving to uni, right? And I was, in my little Mazda driving. It's also not a little Mazda, it's like a bigger Mazda. Also, it's my mum's, so thanks, mum, for not being able to drive so that I can drive your car. Me just telling my whole life story. I hope that you guys are here for a long, rambly episode, by the way. This is how today is going to be. So, fair warning, if you're not here for it, click out. Anyway, sis, and when I say sis, I mean me, sis was driving to uni, and I'm driving, and on my left, I see this guy with like a fucking, it looks like a tripod, right? And he's got a little iPad, and he's got his tripod, and then he's got an opposite one, and then I see him like looking at the ground and looking at the iPad, and I feel like I've seen these people before. And in my mind, I just assume that they're like fucking measuring the ground or something. But if you know what they're doing, can you please tell me? Because it's really important that I know, because I'm so curious. I literally have no idea. And then I parked at uni, just totally forgot about, measurement man. Love a bit of alliteration, Angel. And I see this guy outside of the chemist who's barefoot. And I'm like, bro, okay, look, I'm going to do a total disclaimer. Like, he didn't look homeless. He looked, generally like he had somewhere to go. But he was just barefoot. And I was like, huh? It's literally fucking Tuesday at midday and you're barefoot? Like, bro, what are you doing? And then I got to thinking, oh my God, Australians are barefoot all the time. And then I was like, what the fuck? Why are we barefoot if Australia is going through a heat wave and it's always hot? Like, what is wrong with us? Why are we barefoot all the time? It literally makes no sense. And if you don't live in Australia, like, you don't know. We go to the service station or, the shopping centre. We're in our pajamas. In our pajamas, no shame, barefoot, buying the cookies that are on sale from Coles or Woolworths. Like, it's just a thing. Is this a thing in other countries? Because I have no idea. And I need to know because it's just confusing me. Like, why are we barefoot? What is wrong with us? And then we'll go into Coles or to the supermarket and we'll go into the frozen section and be like, oh my God, the ground is so cold. Yeah, you're not wearing any shoes. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Oh my gosh. And then I was okay, this is such a fucking tangent. But I'm just like joining, those like coloring in circles? We have to join the like dots and stuff. This is what today's podcast is. Anyway, it got me thinking about just like confusion and things that are in the fitness industry that confuse us. And I was like, fuck, the fitness industry is so confusing. Like, I bet you guys listen to my podcast and then you'll see someone on TikTok say the complete opposite. Or you'll see someone on another podcast who says the complete opposite. And it's like, who the fuck do we trust anymore? Like, people say, do this exercise, it's optimal, but don't do this exercise. And you're like, but I thought this exercise was optimal. They'll be like, take this supplement, like creatine. But don't take creatine if you don't want XYZ. Go on the Stairmaster, but also don't go on the Stairmaster. Track your calories, but also don't track your calories. It's like, what am I actually supposed to be doing? Like, I couldn't imagine being a beginner in the industry at the moment, let alone a fucking, like, somebody who's in the middle of their fitness journey, because it's just so much information. And so I want to kind of bring us into the center and say to you, firstly, this is your fitness journey. There's actually no right or wrong. And there are going to be people online, there are going to be coaches, there are going to be PTs, there's even going to be me who will say to you, hey, that's wrong. Hey, that's not right for you. Hey, that's, should be done a different way. And at the end of the day, it's your fucking journey. Like, you get to choose, 1, do you like it? 2, do you think you can do it consistently over a prolonged period of time? And 3, is it serving your goals and aligned with your goals right now? And I think if it hits all 3, like, who the fuck cares if it's optimal or not optimal? Like, who literally fucking cares? Make this whole fitness journey about you. Be selfish, babe. Like, stop letting everybody's opinion of your whole life and your whole fitness journey, or like, you know, when you're at a fucking, oh my gosh, oh my God. You know when you're at like a family lunch or a family meal and I'm there like consuming the pasta. I'm there like fucking eating the pasta with my hands. I'm like God's cutlery right now, like in my mouth. Anyway, why am I so fucking weird? Anyway, and then someone will be like, oh, I thought you're on a weight loss journey, or I thought you're like a gym girl now. Like, why are you eating so much pasta? Literally, fuck off. Like, literally, I can eat as many carbs as I want. No, but seriously, like, who do they think they are trying to put their opinion of what I'm eating for my body, for my goals? Like, go you for not eating pasta, but also like, that's high-key sad. Like, don't bring your negativity or your opinions into my journey. And look, I'm gonna completely contradict myself and be a fucking hypocrite. Like, obviously you need to be educated, you need to source value, you need to have mentors and all of those types of things, but all they can do is give you their expertise. And at the end of the day, it's your life. You know whether or not this thing is going to work for you, and if you try it and it doesn't work, awesome, try something else. So yes, I just wanted to add that in. And it really brings me to today's topic, which is my tracking story and my thoughts around tracking, why I have stopped tracking, So before we start, I do want to add a preface. This is a massive trigger warning for people who find it difficult to talk about calories, who get triggered about maybe the scale, who get triggered around food, binge eating, their just relationship with food. If you're currently not in a space where you can hear about this and you're going, oh, that's me, Angel, that's me, click out, babes. Like, there's no judgment, no judgment. I literally would rather you click out and go listen to some other episode, like the Creating Her episode that I just did, or whatever, because that would be better for you. So think about it. Don't trigger yourself. Please, it's not worth it. Okay. Secondly, before we jump into the episode, okay, so this is really exciting. We are, working with Naked Harvest. So if you need supplements, please use code ThatGymGirl at checkout. I did just order. And also, guys, I just want to tell you, I get no commission. I literally order my own products. I just ordered the Sour Worms pre-workout. I paid for it. Like, it's not fucking me getting shitloads of stuff. Like, I think I've been given 1 or 2 products from them. But I just wanted to preface, like, there's no commission on this. It's literally me just asking for a discount code. And also, if you are loving That Gym Girl podcast, please share on your story. Please tell your friends. Please give us a like. Just fucking spread the word, because I need more gym girls to feel empowered in the gym. I don't think you understand. You listening to this episode is fucking incredible. But you telling another gym girl about this episode and creating a tribe and creating a community, now that's fucking incredible. Let's empower and hype up other women, and let's fucking get this gym girl vibe, trend, I don't know, community might be the best word. Let's get us fucking everywhere. Like, let's get us infiltrating everyone and getting high positive energy everywhere. Let's get into it, okay? Let's get into the episode. I feel like I'm on like some sort of crack or something at the moment. My energy is so high. I feel like I don't know. It's like the podcast has been reborn because my energy is so high. It's actually amazing. So yes, what a time to be alive. What a time to be listening to the pod. Firstly, what the fuck is tracking? Like, when I started my journey, I was like, WTF is tracking? Like, why do I need to track my foods? I eat it, goes in me, I shit it out. Like, why do I need to track it? Do I need to track it going into my intestines? Like, what the fuck? Basically, the tea is people track their or monitor their calorie intake, and what calorie is energy, because basically food, and this is so fucking weird, food is energy. It's a source of energy, and you can track how much energy. Wait, do you guys want me to go so nerd mode on you for a second? Okay, when I was in high school, I did this experiment on how the fuck do we even know what food is X amount of calories? Like, how do we even know that? And don't quote me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty certain that you do like this experiment and there's like fire involved, and like depending on how much fire is like and weight is changed and all this shit, then you figure out calories. Like, how fucking sick is that? Now they have like a formula, but like how sick is that? That's how they originally did it. Anyway, so we're monitoring our calorie intake versus how much we're expending, you know, when we exercise, when we do our laundry, when we're walking, when we're sleeping, all of those types of things. And within that, there are carbohydrates, there are proteins, and there are fats. And I will have done a whole episode on tracking and all the details and all the things down below, so I will link it. And basically, we can look at our calories and look at our carbs and look at our proteins and fats, and we can change them depending on the goals we want. So if we want to lose more weight, if we want to gain more weight, if we want to get more muscle, if we want to, you know, fucking whatever the goal is, we can change our calories to help that goal. Now, when I said at the start there's actually no right or wrong, I know that's a shit answer. Like, when you're a beginner in the gym, you don't want to be told, oh, there's no right or wrong, like you can do whatever you want. Like, fuck that. We literally want to be told what to do. Like, we literally want to go to the gym. We want somebody to write our program for us. We want someone to tell us what to eat. We want somebody to tell us how much to sleep. Like, we just want to be told what to do. So, with that all being said, I'm telling you my tracking story. I'm telling you my experience with tracking, why I think it's good and why I think it can be bad, and why I've decided to no longer track. And I want you to take what you can from it. Like, I don't want you to come out of this being like, Angel's not tracking, so therefore I can't track. Like, Angel said this about tracking and therefore I can't do tracking anymore. Like, I don't want you to take that from it. But I want you to look at it as like, oh, okay, like maybe one day I will do what Angel did. Or, oh, I'm gonna take this one piece of her story and add it to my life. I'm not you, you're not me, like, let's not compare. But you know what? Stick around, enjoy the story, and I hope you've got some popcorn, or maybe you're at the gym. If you're at the gym, fuck yes, sis, keep going, you've got it. If I'm in your car, please make sure that you're looking at the road. And if I'm in your kitchen, what the fuck are we eating? Like, I hope that you're having some food whilst listening to this. And let's go. So, I want to kind of add a bit of context about my early relationship with food. So as a kid, I kind of ate everything. I loved food. I have always been a foodie. I will always be a foodie. Like, Tom knows, Tom's my partner, by the way, he knows I love going out to dinner. Like, if he ever says to me, oh babe, let's go out to dinner or let's go out to a nice restaurant for dinner, like, oh my gosh, oh my goodness. He knows the way to my heart. He knows the way to my heart and other things. Anyway, sorry, that's inappropriate. And so, I've always loved food. But I found that when I went into high school, I used food as like, I kind of began to stress eat. So whenever I felt stressed, I would eat. Whenever I was bored, I would eat. Whenever I was sad, I was eating. Whenever I was angry, I was eating. Like, it was such an emotional thing that I did. And when I got into like, why do I keep saying the word like, by the way? Have a shot for every time I say like. Like. Let's remove the word like from Angel's dictionary from now on. And when I got into my first relationship, well, my second relationship, it was very, very toxic and very hard and all of that type of things. And so I used food as kind of a bit of a crutch, I guess you could say. And so I just kept eating and eating and eating. And I didn't, you know, I wasn't obese or super overweight, but I just knew that I was bigger than I felt I should be. You know, I felt sluggish, I felt tired, I felt drained all the time. And so I started putting on weight. And when I was entering the time in which I wanted to leave that relationship, I was like, yes, revenge body. Let's get it. This is the breakup. Like, she's gonna be fucking aesthetically beautiful and pleasing and whatever you think an aesthetically pleasing person should be like. Whatever your fucking perception of that is. And so I was trying to leave this toxic relationship, and in the process, I started going to the gym, and I started boxing, and I found myself a fitness coach, an online fitness coach. And within that time, I started tracking my calories, macros, that type of thing. And initially, it was amazing. I was sitting at like maintenance calories, which is just like a very high, very easy amount to have. And I realized I could eat chocolate. I realized I could have pasta. I realized that I could enjoy food but still have it in moderation and achieve the body goals that I always wanted. And that was amazing. Like, that was honestly so eye-opening, because for so long I was like, pasta's the thing that's making me fat. Or, sorry, I don't hate using the word fat. Why did I just say that? I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said that word. Apologies for saying that word. That wasn't very good. Let me restate that. And I hope that I haven't offended anybody with that word, because I think that's quite a harsh word and I don't want there to be a negative connotation with that. So I genuinely do apologize for that. Let's restart. I think that I got to realize that all of these foods, which I thought were quote unquote bad for you, were not actually bad. They were just something you had to have in moderation. And I mean, you have to have everything in moderation. If you have 14 bananas, you might put on weight. So it got to be this like really enjoyable thing that I got to realize, but then it became toxic. And so I felt like my coach was wanting me to lose more and more and more weight. And so she was putting me into more and more of a deficit. And there were some days where I was eating like 1,500 calories, which is not okay. That's too low. Unless you're prepping for a competition, like a bodybuilding thing, I don't think you should be eating that low. Personally, that's just my opinion. Again, this is my story. This is what works for me. And so I felt so hungry and tired, and I felt like I wasn't good enough for this coach. I felt like I needed to be slimmer. She was saying more kilos need to be lost. Half a kilo needs to be lost. You need to have less calories. All of these things. Why aren't you tracking today? And nothing was ever enough. And I was just like, fuck this. Like, I enjoy food. And I felt like I was getting such a negative relationship with food where I was like, I can't have that today, sorry. Oh, I can't eat that. Oh, I can't go out. Or even if I do, I go out, I have to track. And I was just like, fuck that. Like, fuck that. And it all just became about weight loss, and it all became about wanting to become the skinniest version of myself. Like, I don't want to live like that. That's ridiculous. And so I left her. I was like, you know what? You're just not for me. And it's actually so okay. I think when you're a client of a PT, you think that you have to do exactly what they say. And you forget that you're the person paying this human being to educate you. You're the person who is tracking. You're the person who's going to the gym. And if you don't align with their values, you actually don't have to be a client of theirs. You have autonomy. You can walk away. And so I decided to leave and I stopped tracking. And then I got a new coach and she gave me meal plans. So she told me what to eat. And I didn't track. I just went with her meal plans, and they were super, super great. You know, there were 3 main meals, there was snacks, there was chocolate. Like, it felt really, really healthy and really good. Did I stick to them all the time? No, I was very lax with those. And so I had a good time with her, and I felt like I was putting on muscle and I was slowly getting my groove back. And then I went overseas for 3 months. And I literally ate fucking everything, hey. Like, I ate whatever was available. I was just like, oh my goodness, I'm never gonna come back here. I have to eat this. Or, ooh, it's Christmas. Like, I'm gonna eat this and this. And it was so fun. Like, it was so much fun. And I was lifting really heavy at the gym whilst I was away. And I just felt like the best version of me. And look, I'm not even gonna lie, I put on weight. When I was overseas, I put on like 5 or 6 kilos. And it was so surprising, because if you had told me back in 2020 that I'd put on 5 or 6 kilos, I think I would have dropped to the floor and cried. Like, I would have been deceased. But me recently, when I put that weight on, I was like, fuck yeah. Like, that's awesome, go you. And look, not every day is going to be a fucking amazing body image day. But for the majority of the time, I felt really good. I felt really strong. I had heaps of energy. And then I came back to Australia after traveling, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to start tracking. I've got goals I want to achieve. I've got body goals. I've got strength goals. And I was tracking. And then it just felt like a chore. I was back at uni. I was back at work. I'm starting I've got my coaching business. I have my podcast, which you're listening to. And tracking just felt like a chore. And I don't think tracking should feel like that. Like, yes, it's a bit tedious. You have to scan the barcode, or you have to type in your things or whatever, but it shouldn't feel heavy. It shouldn't feel like a weight on your shoulders. And so I spoke to my current coach and I said, look, it feels really heavy. It feels like it's just like this tedious thing that I have to do. And so I stopped. And it was just that simple. My coach and I had a conversation, and we realized I'm educated about food now. I realize I can eat pasta. I realize I can eat chocolate. I realize that I need to have my protein shakes. And I realize I need to have my tofu because I'm vegetarian. And I'm focusing now on having my main meals and my snacks and really getting the best of everything. You know, I get a portion with carbs, a bit of fats, and a bit of protein. And if you listen to other episodes, you'll understand, you know, more of the depth of that. And I'm just loving it. I'm loving being relaxed, you know. I have never had a better relationship with food. I'm not binging, I'm not excessively eating, but on the other hand, I'm allowing myself to enjoy ice cream after dinner. I'm allowing myself to go to uni and pick up a chocolate because I just fucking want a chocolate and a cookie. And it doesn't have to take away from the goals I currently have. And my goals currently are to get stronger, are to get that athletic body, are to perform better in the gym, whether that's with sprints or jumps or whatever. And so from this journey, I guess you were able to see that at the beginning, it was a good thing. Tracking educated me. Like, tracking really gave me the tools and the ability to have a good relationship with food. But then it can become toxic. It can become obsessive. And I don't think you need to track for your entire life. Like, you get to live and you get to enjoy life. You don't need to be tracking, you know, on a girls' trip or whilst you're at uni, whatever it is. And so I then found myself not wanting to track. And now I'm at a position where I'm not tracking, yet my relationship with food has never been better. And so I guess the key takeaways from that are really